Hey guys, it's me, Michael B. Happy Monday night, everybody. Here for another Chill and Chat with Michael B. Tonight, we're talking about two different topics. Ones that I'm excited and disappointed for, and one I'm really excited for. So, we're going to be talking about Arcade1Up Pinball versus AtGames Pinball in 2023. And these two companies certainly seem to be going in very different directions for virtual pinball for the home arcade market. And we're going to talk all about it's disappointing and super exciting all at the same time. On top of that, it looks like there's an opportunity for us to have another major meetup at the Cleveland Gaming Show. Apparently, this is a huge convention. It's kind of came out of nowhere. They usually have about 10,000 followers. We'll tell you more about it and why it's considered a must-go destination for home arcade fans very, very soon. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. This is Chill and Chat with Michael B. Alright guys, yeah, it's a meetup, console kits. Exactly what you think it is. A meetup. So, there's going to be meat. We're going to have deli meat, we're going to have pastrami, we're going to have processed meats, we're going to make Reubens. It's going to be fantastic. The gap between pinballs is widening even more. Unfortunately, that's 100% right, Papa Brad. Canada Phil's here, Monorail, David G. What's happening, brother? Looking forward to another Michael B show. Thank God someone is. I appreciate it, brother. Nick Gamble, what's happening, brother? JJ, boy, Arcade1Up had better step up their game if they want to compete with AtGames has coming this year. In pinball, absolutely. Lang's Chris gonna rock tonight. Hope everyone is having a great evening. Biggie D is here. Michael B. Chill and Chat is one of my favorite streams to catch. Always lots of good stuff to talk about. Thank you so much, Biggie D. The Realism's here. What's up, guys? Matt Astro Gaming. Hi, Mike. So nice to see you survive winter. It was hot here today. We got a little bit of melting. We're supposed to have a massive rainstorm tonight, so after I finish the stream, I think I'm going to go pull up all the plugs for my Arcade1Ups so they don't get destroyed like what happened to poor Glenn a couple of years ago. Let's do this. Monday is the best night. I heard Sunday was pretty good, too. Anyways, we didn't know you cared, Nick. There it is. Alright, guys, so let's get rocking and rolling. Bill's Retro Gaming Show. Nice new logo, Bill. I have to tell you, when I initially saw it, I was looking at the shape in the background, and I was like, I swear I've seen a funeral parlor logo much like this. And then I was talking to Haywood, and he told me what your inspiration was. Very, very cool. Congratulations on the new channel design, Bill. There it is, Papa Brad's new member, 21 months. Thank you very much, Papa Brad. I live 4 hours away. Thinking about going to the Cleveland Gaming Classic. Oh, you good. Oh my God, you're not sick? Something wrong? Why? Do I sound like there's something wrong? Our whole family has had COVID here the last couple of weeks, and I've managed to avoid it somehow. Hopefully I'm okay and not sick, and maybe just my mic's messed up. I don't know. Anyways, guys, let's get started with this tonight. Let's have fun. So the first thing I want to talk about is the Arcade1Up and AtGames Pinball landscape going into 2023. And both companies seem to be going in fairly different directions. Hey, Cleveland Gaming Classic is here. We're going to be talking about you a little later on. Now I feel obligated, like I should talk about it right away. But looks like we're trying to do this big home arcade meetup at the Cleveland Gaming Classic. And I'll just tell you about it a little bit since you're here. We know that AtGames is going to be going. They announced that during their nod presentation. And iiRcade has been a big supporter of your event in the past. So with both companies going, we think it's an excellent opportunity to... Yeah, we'll start there. Excellent excellent opportunity to get the home arcade community together. Come out and check out your convention. It's amazing. We're very excited to go. I've talked to my wife. She's really mad that I'm taking another trip, but yeah, Cleveland. I've got a lot of friends in the area that I'm excited about meeting up with. I'm excited to go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm excited to go to a Guardians game. The Guardians are in town that weekend as well, so it looks like it could be an awesome event, and I think we should all get together and go. We'll be here. Do your thing. Sorry to interrupt. No, not interrupting at all. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, bad guy Mike Worley says, hey, I'm only 3 hours from there. Might have to check it out. I'm 20 minutes from the Center Nick Gamble comes. May come, but September is a long ways away. This is not that Cleveland pinball show. No, this is the Cleveland... Let me get it up here again so I can show you. Where'd they go? Did they disappear? He's not sick. He's just from Canadian land. Cleveland Gaming Classic. Honestly, what happened was AtGames had reached out to me and said, hey, we're considering going. Would you guys be interested in going as well? Now, I'm going on my own dollar, not that AtGames is. So I started looking into it, and then I checked out their event from past years and found out that iiRcade had previously gone there as well. So I talked to Michael from iiRcade, and he said, we don't know if we're going this year. He gave me the go-ahead the other day. They're definitely going as well. So it'd be great to go out, catch both AtGames and iiRcade in person, check out their booths, and check out this amazing convention that's grown leaps and bounds over the course of the last couple years. 10,000 plus people in attendance. There's going to be all kinds of stuff for us to do. We're also going to check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Like I said, there's a Guardians game over the weekend. And on top of that, there's just so much cool stuff to do. Cosplaying, so you know Nostalgia will be there dressed up. Plus, we're going to have lots of retro video game goodies. If you're a video game collector, there'll be all kinds of places with stuff on display. There'll be popular acts, lots of stuff to do. It's going to be fun. So let me know in the comments, what do you guys think? Do you think that Cleveland could be a cool place for us to have our next meetup? If you're from the area, tell us about some fun things we have to do while we're there. Places that we absolutely have to eat at. You guys know I'm a big burger guy, so suggest must-have burger joints to me, and I've got to check it out. So get some feedback from you guys here in the chat. Todd Moore, yes, it's in September. That's what we're planning for now. Cosplay. I hope he goes as a brownie. Well, it's Nostalgia. Of course he's going to go as a brownie. And 19K Fox knows the other reason I want to go. Cleveland rocks. I actually do have a bit of a selfish reason too. I grew up my entire life as a Cleveland Indians fan after watching the Major League movies, and I've always wanted to get to Progressive Field, formerly Jacobs Field, so I'm also excited that I get to live out a lifelong dream and go to a Guardians game as well. So, and also, don't forget to hit the Christmas Story Museum. That's right, the house from the Christmas Story is in Ohio as well. I don't think it's right in Cleveland, I'm not sure. I'll tell you a little tidbit from my history. I used to work for a call center here in Newfoundland, where I'm from, called Teletech, and at one point they were looking for people to go down to their office in Ohio, and everybody from our center that went there all went to visit the Christmas Story house. Does anybody know what the after hours party is about? I do not know that, but I will tell you, right now it looks like, I can't speak for everybody, but 19K Fox is here in the chat, Console Kits is here in the chat, and we've been talking about going. P-Dubs is going, maybe B-Kong. So last time we all got together, there was certainly after hours activities, and I'm excited to get going again. Stringer Films, $2 super chat. A little chick with crimson lips say, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks, Cleveland rocks. Milwaukee. See, you can't say Milwaukee here without me trying to recite Alice Cooper's famous line from Wayne's World. Don't do that to me. It's Mint Salad said she might go, and I definitely want to meet her. You guys should rent out the top floor of the Christmas Story house for the weekend. B-Kong, if you ever watch this or if you're part of the stream, that's your destination. Find us the Christmas Story house for Oh, what do you call it? Our bed and breakfast this time. Oh no, Console Kits, your wife hates Ohio. So guys, Justin Console Kit's wife told him he could actually come to the Cleveland Gaming Classic with all of us, provided the video he released today got 1,000 views. So what I need everybody to do is, after this chill and chat, go to Justin's channel, check out his video on the Polymega app, make it a reality, make it happen. Chris Lang says, it's an interesting city, you'll have fun. JT Brumwick says, I don't think I want to see Nostalgia cosplaying Sailor Moon. What do you mean you don't want to see that? Who doesn't want to see that? Hey, Cleveland Gaming Classic. So excited to see Michael from iiRcade again. He's amazing, and they put on a great display every year. Yeah, Michael's the tops. We were lucky enough, last year our big trip was we went to Chicago for the iiRcade Game and Brew event. So while we were there, we also went to Galloping Ghost. And honestly, Michael, who had so much on his plate, put all that aside, came and hung out with us for the day, chauffeured us around. Awesome guy. Excited that I'm going to get to meet up with Michael again. We'll see if we can convince him not to have the mustache this year, though. Where is it? Stringer Films. Don't forget to try out a Cleveland steamer. $2 super chat from Stringer Films. I know what a Cleveland steamer is. I'm hoping you're talking about something different, like some cool kind of burger. Pitbull, what's happening, brother? Any interest in coming to the Cleveland Gaming Classic with us? Oh, there we go. Should come to Dallas next month instead. They're having a pinball expo in Frisco. We need more notice. More notice, man. Yeah, so guys, I'm really excited about this. I've been looking at this convention now for, about 3-4 weeks. Like I mentioned, talking to Michael and from iiRcade, talking to the people from AtGames. So very cool that two major companies from the home arcade space are going to be going to this event. I, of course, have a very good friend, my friend EdT1138, who I've been friends with on YouTube for, I don't know, like 12 years now, and Ed lives just an hour away, so I'm excited to meet up with him as well. Hopefully he can go to the event and just meet up with everybody. I mean, last time the iiRcade event was really, really super cool. However, one issue with it was, like, it was limited how many people could go to the iiRcade event themselves. They had to sign up that way. It was fun. We could meet people at Galloping Ghost, but that was a limiting factor. With a huge convention like this, I mean, literally anybody can go. We can meet up. We can do all kinds of cool stuff all weekend. Very excited. Stringer Films, another $2 super chat. I wouldn't suggest eating a Cleveland steamer. Good point. And there's TechBuzz Gaming. TechBuzz Gaming, he put a chat up there earlier as well. Good thing I told you about this convention, that I would be there. I like that as well. TechBuzz is going to be there as well. It'll be my first time meeting Steven in person, even though I've been talking to him now for about 3 years here on YouTube. Steven is actually going to be there doing some live streaming. He's bringing a crew with him. That should be a lot of fun. Come out and meet the TechBuzz as well. And TechBuzz, it'll be cool to hang out with you, man. Have a beer. I'm actually allowed to drink when I travel, so that'll be fun. I see $545 to $665 per night for Christmas Story House on their website. Manageable when you get a bunch of people. Manageable. MG is coming to see you, Steven. There's T-Slayer says, I live 1 hour away from Cleveland. Anyways, guys, so let me give you a little bit of history, like a show about the event. I've got the website open here, so what we're going to be taking a look at, if it wants to do it. If not, it's going to freeze up, and that's great. There we go. No, that's not the one I wanted. There we go. Almost froze up there for a second. Had a couple problems. So, guys, let me bring this back up. Console Kit says, oh, Steven, will be awesome to hang out, man. We can make fun of P-Dubs when he's not around. So, guys, I've got a link left in the description for the webpage to the event. So this is a view of past years. You can take a look at all the vendor booths, the cosplaying. Look at all those video games, man. Sega CD, oh man, cards. There's going to be a classic arcade set up there so we can play a couple games together. I know, oh, look at all the pinball. Jesus, I shouldn't say Jesus, but I'm so excited. The Famicom. I can school some people in Friday the 13th if they've got a NES going there active. But there's a classic arcade set up. All kinds of guests. Look, you can see the guys there from Mortal Kombat. There's Tim Kitzow from NBA Jam. There's more viewing of the cosplaying. So guys, go check out their website and see all the... Oh, look at that M. Bison. I've seen this guy online a couple times, actually. There's some Deadpools. And there's some of the events. Yeah, this is going to be a blast, man. I hope everybody thinks this is going to be fun. Everybody wants to come and meet up with the Home Arcade crew. We're all going to be going. I haven't had a chance to talk to everybody, but I think everybody but Restalt. Look, there's the Dead Cells iiRcade. There's the iiRcade booth itself. Anyways, I'm just looking at the video they have on the page here. I'll scroll down to show you some more stuff here. So, Ohio's largest, September 22nd to 24th, the IX Center, Cleveland, Ohio. Retro games, arcade games, toys and collectibles, special guests, cosplay, tabletop, indie developers, comics, artist crafts, and much, much more. So there's the free play arcade and pinball, collectibles, comics, toys, and more. So lots of vendors booth, cosplay, video games galore, lots of booths set up where we can all go and play shit with each other. Tabletop for people who likes board games, legendary special guests. So there's some people from Mortal Kombat. Too bad Zohar left the community because he'd love to see that. Meet your favorite characters, tournaments, esports, old school games. Oh yeah, I'm going to kill everybody on Friday the 13th. Watch out. Indie video game, tabletop games, kids programming and activities. So I remember last year, Bob Oif had to bring his kids when he went to Chicago. So there'll be kids activities there. But they weren't doing kids activities when we were in Chicago. They were just playing arcade games. Preview night, after party with musical guests. So there's going to be musical performance. And last but not least, yeah, it's pretty awesome. So you can join their mailing list for show updates, get a little bit of information. There you go. Friday, September 22nd is the preview party, play and party all night long with Michael B. Saturday, September 23rd, full show and after party. The main event, after party with musical guests. Look at that. I don't know what the after party is. And then Sunday, September 24th is family day, where I'm going to be extremely hungover. No, it's just I changed my setup here, and now instead of having a monitor on the side, I've got a monitor up top. So I apologize for looking up like that, but that's my second screen here. So guys, about vendors, entertainment, let's take a look at the special guests they've got lined up for this year. We've got Button Masher Jake Silverman, musical guest, 88-bit Rob Kovacs, Koopa Kids, Derby Blue Television Games, Rich DeVizio from Mortal Kombat, Tim Kitzrow, Daniel Pacina, John Salter, Joust Tron, Tron record holder. I don't know about the Tron record holder because I've got a friend in here. I don't know if he's here watching tonight, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he's the Tron record holder. We'll have to dispute that. Jay Grimm, Rubber City, Brooke Small Pumpkin. Hi, Brooke. Michelle Gray, Caleb, coming soon special guests, more special guests. I'm one of them. Nah, just kidding. Oh, yeah. Is there RV parking near? That's a good question, Carlo. So anyways, guys, this looks like it's going to be a bunch of fun. Vendors, you can take a look at the vendors tables. Amazing how it keeps growing. Ohio's largest. So we'll check that out. I mean, it's early right now. September's a way away. Facts, gallery, media, history, leadership. So let's go take a look at some of the media. Maybe that was just the videos we were watching. Ticket promo video. This looks like a Tech Buzz thumbnail. Are you sure you didn't make this Tech Buzz? Yeah, Daniel Pacina is a really cool dude. Bill, I got a chance to talk to him. He was on the Loft Report back with P-Dubs and Detroit Love back in the day, and I got a chance to say hello to him, and I won a poster. It was very, very cool. So anyways, guys, this looks like a bunch of fun. We were talking to P-Dubs about it, and P-Dubs were like, no, tickets are all sold out, but that's not true yet. Tickets are available right now, so you just go to the link. Go through Eventbrite, order your tickets. There's also, I think there's an all-week pass that you can get. I'm not 100% sure. I can't remember. I went in and took a look at the tickets just to justify we can get them. Everybody check it out. This looks like it's going to be our next big gaming meetup. Ooh, promo videos and homage to 80s videos. I'll even turn up my desktop audio. Maybe I won't because I don't want to get hit. But anyways, guys, you can go check it out yourself. So there's the About Gallery Media. Ticket promo video. I definitely am going to get hit with a copyright strike. Watch. I'll turn it up so you guys can hear.
You're the first serious gamer I've seen all morning. You're the first serious out.
There we go.
Let's see what we...
Mike Rogers wanted them to.
Look at that.
But he got a Genesis.
Imagine a world where anything is possible. A world where you can escape back in time in the monster hits of today. Now you can with the Cleveland Gaming
Anyways, guys,
Classic.
I don't want to get hit with a copyright strike, and I'm not 100% sure what the music is, so I'm just going to put that down right there. Guys, go check out the video yourself. That's the Cleveland Gaming Classic. Very, very excited. So, I'll kind of get your feedback now. What do you think? Is anybody interested? I went the day before and got tickets, so tickets can still be available. I'll pull up the chat here so I can talk to you guys a little bit more. Mike Hockhurts with a thumbs up. Mike, I'd love to meet you in person, man. You should come. So right now, I can't speak for anybody else, but it looks like 19K Fox is going. I'm going. Justin, if he gets 1,000 views on his video, is going. B Kong is open to go, even though his wife will get so mad. Steven from the Tech Buzz is going. Royalty-free music should be at least, but better safe, I know. T-Slayer is going to be there. Who else is interested in going? Music by Kenny G and Yanni. Cramming all arcades in one room. I'm in. My wife will kill me, but I'll go. Very cool. I won't be there. Oh, too bad, BA. Cleveland Gaming Classic is going to be there. Pinball show is the weekend earlier, so I can't go. Oh, sorry, Todd Moore. Stringer Films, man. It'd be great to meet you in person. Nick Gamble. Yeah, of course. Since you're right there, you got to go. Never went to anything like this. I haven't either. Stockjack says, I just sold my business, so I'll be there. Chris McCloy, yeah, you can buy tickets online. It's right on the site. You can go now. Stephen Ramey says he'll go. Guys, I think we should do it. I can't say for sure this will be the next meetup we'll do, but it's definitely, because anything could happen. Something could come up sooner, but I do think this is the big one that we're planning on going. Already talked to iiRcade and AtGames. It'll be cool to see both of them in person. Plus, we got a huge convention. Music, drinks, food, Cleveland Guardians baseball game. We can check out the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and figure out whatever the hell else there is to do in Cleveland. There's a big arcade right at the convention. Plus, we'll go find other barricades in the area and I'll go hang out. I am so very excited. I will contribute to White Castle. I've had my White Castles. I've had my White Castles already. I might, if they've got one there, I might pop in, but... Canada Phil says, Mike, what about Fan Expo in Toronto? Is there gaming stuff there as well? Restalgia loves Fan Expo in Toronto. I got to think about that one. The day after Mike gets back, everyone needs to save money for Michael B's funeral. Oh, Tech Buzz, you haven't been on a trip with me, man. I'm a party animal. I'll never die. I'm going to live forever. Oh, there it is. Sterling Hall. That's who I was talking about earlier. $5 super chat. Thank you very much, brother. Actually, I only have a little over 3 million on Tron. Dave Cruz is the record holder with over 14 million. The problem is fatigue. 3 million takes over 5 hours. Sterling, you should come and challenge him in person and be like King of Kong. You could do it. Sterling, come to Cleveland with us. Let's do it. King of Tron. We'll make our own documentary. I'd love it. Thank you very much for the super chat, Sterling. It's good to see you, brother. And we also had another $2 super chat. I'll go if someone in the group gets steamed. I vote console kits. We got to sneak into his room. It's real simple, Michael B. The sign says wrap it up. Cool. Thanks for the love tonight. Hope everyone sees you. Hope to see you all come out. It's a great time. Thank you so much, Cleveland Gaming Classic. I appreciate you being here. Changed my pace on what show I was going to be doing, but thank you very much. And hopefully we bring a pile of people to the event, bring some home arcade love, and enjoy your event. Thank you very much. Tackle dubs again. That's definitely a possibility. All right, here we go, guys. Now I have to transition. So, back to the main topic, guys, that we were going to talk about tonight, and that is Arcade1Up versus AtGames Pinball in 2023. And like I said earlier, they are two companies certainly going in very different directions. The first announcement we did get was on AtGames. But before we do that, let's go back and take a look at their initial offerings. We were all very excited about Virtual Pinball, and there was debate when they were first coming out which machine would be the better machine. Of course, Arcade1Up got out of the gates, securing the Zen licenses, arguably the best virtual pinball developer on the market right now, outside of some of the amazing community people on Visual Pinball. So Zen Pinball made a very, very big impression. But the question is, how good was the machine going to be? So you guys may remember, I, very excited about Virtual Pinball, went out and bought all three machines. And here is the third of the machines I purchased, the Arcade1Up Star Wars cabinet, pinball cabinet, featuring the Virtual Pinball Star Wars offerings from Arcade1Up and Zen Pinball. So these are the video gaming pinball games that Zen developed. They're not based on real tables, but they were still really super fun. A lot of people are excited about them. Star Wars is a hot license. It's a big seller, but you can take a look at the screen right there, and you start to see where this all falls apart. Where Arcade1Up absolutely rules in this department. The shape of the cabinet, the great light on the back
Michael B.
box.
the Game Genie
Looks like
here,
a
and
different
today
room in
the
there.
circle is
A lot
complete
more
because on
brown here
Game
in the
Genie
beard
Reviews, we're going to
especially.
be looking at
A
the
little bit
third
later, too.
and final
So,
Arcade1Up Pinball.
They've got a much
Star
cooler
Wars.
cabinet
May the
design,
Force
actual
be
form
with you.
factor. The art is really, really super impressive. Go up and get out of compared to class. So then we get into, and then we go into an ad. My God, this is not an ad for the video. Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Time.
I still had the desktop audio on. Sorry, guys. What a nightmare this is tonight. So, guys, here we go. This is the Star Wars pinball, and beautiful cabinet, beautiful design. Everything looks great. It's got a third screen DMD, solenoids, great cabinet form factor, the right height to play it comfortably. And this is where the problems come in because it starts to fall apart. One, the chipset was a little bit underpowered to play Zen pinball games, so the output was only maxed out at 720p resolution on a 1080p screen. And while it still looked okay, not really, because as you got up closer, you started to notice some real pixelization and jaggies on everything from the flippers to the background characters. Hell, they couldn't even do some of the 3D character effects that they did in regular Zen Pinball. Well, let's be honest, it just looked terrible. Sure, the experience was there, the games played good, the solenoids worked good, but honestly, the 720p pinball just wasn't visually stunning. On top of that, it was on a 24-inch screen, so while like the real pinball games that are on the Attack from Mars tables all looked pretty good on the screen because they're a bigger build, some of these, more creative video game pinball games that Zen designed, such as some of the Star Wars games and such as some of the Marvel games, the pinball got really, really small on the screen and it became very, very hard to play, needing a bigger screen. Then, of course, the back box wasn't the right screen size, so we ended up getting a squished DMD that didn't fill up the entire screen. On top of that, there was no Wi-Fi, so you couldn't do any leaderboards or tournaments, and overall, the experience, while still pretty good, and you get to play the Zen pinball games on a at-home cabinet, it kind of fell flat compared to Arcade1Up's arcade offerings, which did a better job of emulating the real arcade experience. Man, I apologize, guys. I forgot that desktop audio was on. See, this is why I never turned that shit on. Never. So, I just wanted to get some feedback from you guys on what you thought of the initial Arcade1Up Pinball experience. Star Wars Pinball is the best Arcade1Up product. Interesting 360. I did think the Star Wars Pinball was really good, but at the end of the day, for my arcade, I decided that what I really wanted, more than anything else, was a recreation of a real pinball table. That's why Attack from Mars stuck, but I do agree with you. I had a lot of fun with my Star Wars Pinball, and if it, room and other factors didn't get in there, I'd probably still have it. Like, if I had an unending amount of room, it would still be in my arcade today. And then there was another super chat from you as well. Team Encoder fixed it to 1080p and runs great. I did not know that. How did Team Encoder fix it so it runs at 1080p? I did not know that. Wow. Biggie D's Arcade, and thank you very much for the super chats, 360. I appreciate it, brother. Biggie D's Arcade, I love my Attack from Mars. VR pinball is the way to go these days. Yeah, I have experiences that as well. I've had the Oculus Quest, and I got to actually play the Zen pinball games on Oculus Quest. Really good experience. Jim Pacers fan says, I have Attack from Mars. It's my go-to. I really like Attack from Mars as well. So, yeah, I will say I am still a very big fan of the Arcade1Up Pinball. Like I said, I like the form factor. I like the art, especially when they're recreating an actual pinball cabinet or pinball machine. But Mike won't do soft mods. Oh, Mystery Encoder, leave me alone. Anyways, guys, so I really like the Williams tables. I like the experience that I get on my little pinball machine, but it is lacking. I wish the picture quality was better. I wish there were no jaggies. I wish the solenoids were a little bit more impressive. I wish the DMD was the right aspect ratio so it actually filled up the screen. I wish mainly for the Wi-Fi so there could be leaderboards and there could be tournaments. I mean, realistically, I want this Zen pinball experience to connect with the other Zen pinball experience. I want my scores to be shown on the leaderboards, compete with other people so I can, judge how well I'm doing against other people. And I also want to be able to play in tournaments on this pinball table itself. MB, you don't have the Pinner V3 mod and all the tables? No, I don't. And 360, I'll just be honest with you, it's because of my AtGames Legends pinball table that I decided not to mod it. Because honestly, any Zen pinball game I want to play, because I'm missing all those components about the leaderboards, tournaments, and all those things, I'm just going to play on my AtGames because I have my AtGames connected to a dedicated gaming PC, and the experience is just better through that. It's 1080p on a larger screen, 60 frames per second, I think. And I get the other benefits as well. So I didn't see any point in modding my Arcade1Up Pinball because I could do all those things on my AtGames Legends Pinball. And I kept my Attack from Mars Williams Pinball because it recreates a classic table. And, I think about the future of Arcade1Up Pinball, and that's the difference. Where they're locked in with Zen to get the good titles, they can't focus just on recreating original pinball tables. They have to do what Zen is capable of doing. So we'll get into the future in a little bit. But I do want to switch gears and talk about the AtGames Legends pinball table. And I want to show you guys this first here. So I checked this today. I haven't checked in a while. I'm at 54,000 views for my AtGames Legends pinball review. I was surprised when I checked that today. I didn't realize it was that much. But anyways, I'll bring up my review here, and hopefully my desktop audio is turned down so you guys don't get that blast of music again. But we'll go right to the gameplay, and of course there's an ad right away. I had this sorted out earlier. So anyways, here I'm showing off gameplay for the AtGames Legends Pinball Machine. Here is me playing, Star Wars Virtual Pinball on a PC, and then I'm showing my Arcade1Up. Fitting time to do that, I guess. But we'll go back to the AtGames Legends Pinball and why they don't have as good of titles as they do in Arcade1Up. Let's be honest, the Zen titles are much better than the Gottlieb Farsight Studios tables, and the Zen titles are still better than the Zachariah tables. It's just, no, I don't have YouTube Premium. I refuse to get it. I won't pay YouTube for Premium. So anyways, while I don't, look, another ad. How many ads do I have on this thing? Man, this guy's a scumbag. Anyways, I do like the tables, but I just find the Zen tables are more premium, and you know, they also have those classic Williams tables. So I want to see AtGames get more real tables, but outside of that, $3.60 with the $1.99 super chat. Arcade1Up Star Wars pin is best in categories. David McIntosh. Well, that's his opinion, and he works for the company, so thank you very much for the super chat. I love the Gottlieb tables too, but I do find the Williams tables are just a little bit better. I love Haunted House, I love Black Hole, but Jay Cuts knows the Williams tables are better. Star Wars and Marvel, meh, it depends on what you want to do, right? So anyways, guys, the Legends Pinball, fantastic machine from what it can do perspective. You get a 32-inch screen. You get a back glass that actually changes per pinball table. You get that little screen on it as well. You get the 22 Gottlieb games right off the hop. Then, of course, you can add more games with an online store. And then, of course, you also have bring your own game, hooking a PC up to it, so it'll open it up so many avenues to play visual pinball, and also Pinball FX, Pinball FX3 on the system as well. So, anyways, guys, let me take that down, go back to the chill and chat. The AtGames Legends Pinball, fantastic device, but it's not without its problems. So if you go to the actual pinball, I don't know what they're called, the pinball enhanced ports. So Arcade1Up wanted to make it feel like a real pinball table by including a exciter, solenoids, and they also have, I can't remember the term to get the nudge function. AtGames came back and they added the nudge function as well, but where they made a mistake is instead of adding solenoids, they added exciters, and that's one area where it kind of made it a little bit sucky, because instead of the knocking noise you expect from a pinball table and that solenoids provides, we got this kind of farting noise underneath our hands on the pinball unit. And unfortunately, where exactly the rumble feature was right where there was a plastic piece. So on top of the plastic piece, we also got a little reverberation from the FX they put in to give it more of that real pinball feel. Mystery Encoder, $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Both products suck, and we were screwed. Both products sucked, and we were screwed as consumers. That's funny. Hey, P-Dubs Arcade Lop gifted me 10 Game Genie memberships. That is very cool, man. You didn't have to do that. Thank you very much. Haptic feedback, that's the word I'm looking for. Volume Bro. Do I still have the desktop audio up? Or I'm sorry, Pitbull. Maybe you're a little bit behind. Exciters. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of exciters either. So that was where we were. Arguably, AtGames won the first pinball war, while Arcade1Up probably had a better looking machine that had a better form factor. Just the pinball experience really fell flat, and a lot of the extra options that we were really hoping for from digital pinball in an at-home retail space, they were roughly around the same price, realistically when they came out. Really, you got more bang from your buck from the AtGames table. Sure, it was a little bit shorter. Sure, it was a little bit uglier. Sure, it had a light-up marquee for some reason that showed up on the screen and was a little bit distracting. But there was so much you could do to add to the table after the fact. And AtGames then kept on updating their lineup and doing cool things like bringing out new games. We got those Taito games that, quality-wise, you can argue how good they were. Natural History were awesome. They added Zachariah after the pinball table came out. Now they're even still going with Cat in the Hat. We got a new pack coming out soon, another Natural History pack, and who knows what the future holds. Now, Robert Wistner. I don't know, man. I don't think I'm very damn awesome, but I appreciate the compliment, man. I definitely do. And then we also got the Vibs board. So when we were doing pinball OTG from a PC, we could also bring in our own back glasses and back DMDs as well. So very cool that AtGames had so much forward thinking, and you could do so much more with their machine. They had great licenses, not as good as Zen Pinball arguably, but they had great licenses. So AtGames kind of won the pinball war. Now here we go to the future, and this is where it gets really interesting. So very recently, if you guys have been following along, AtGames announced their very next move in the pinball space, the Legends Pinball 4KP. So let's take a look at this new product that's kind of in beta or whatever you want to call it right now. So we're going to get expanded processing power and onboard storage with the Rockchip 3588 CPU and 32 gigabyte storage. So we're getting a much more powerful processor, much more powerful than anything else we've seen in the home arcade space so far, plus 32 gigabyte storage. P-Dubs did a recap video on what the upgrade boards do today, and he perfectly explained what that storage will let you do. No longer do you have to fool around with getting a separate USB stick for flash drive X. All that can be done on board, and you can also store a bunch of your games that you're going to get from the online store directly on the machine. So if people with the Legends Pinball Micro already know how much fun that is, so you'll get that option. On top of that, it's going to be an integrated Vibs for playfield, backglass, and DMD. Now, the backglass and DMD are going to be one and the same. So that's what the Vibs is for. It's for people saying 3-screen functionality. And Canada Phil, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are still here, the 3-screen integration that they're talking about is only possible with the inclusion of the BitPixel HV. So just keep that in mind. It's not another screen that you can just bring in. It has to be the BitPixel. So I just wanted to be clear about that because I saw some people talking about it and I was like, well, that's not really how this works. Michael B, have heard a response to this yet, but did they relocate the HDMI USB ports on the new ones? No, I haven't heard that. And if you take a look at the picture, I mean, this is just the original machine. So we're not really getting any highlights on this. But if they did do that, which is awesome, but would also be complicated for people set up like mine, where you've got to reach around the back, especially if you have no room. If it isn't like the Legends Pinball Micro, that would be cool. What I would like to see more realistic is those flat USB cables included. Like, if anybody else here has bought the Buy Stuff back box, that's one of the coolest things included, that they have these flat cables that plug into the front and go to the back. I guess it does the same thing as having the USBs in the back. It's just, I don't know. So hopefully they figure out a way so you don't have those USBs sticking up. I agree. I also am mystified by the inclusion of the Legends 4KP light-up marquee. Did they confirm that? I'm hoping there's no light-up marquee. I don't care if the word's there. They just don't need a light-up marquee. And I am a little bit different. Saved by Zero. Hold on, let me get my thing down here. Reach around. Yeah. Yikes. Didn't even think about that. Having 3 screens and solenoids is a bigger announcement than 4K. Well, it doesn't really have 3 screens. Let's be clear here. It's still only going to have 2 screens, but it has an option to add the BitPixel HV. So, Tyler V, different art. Yes, it's going to have much different art. This is no longer the Gottlieb games going to be coming stock with the machine. Gottlieb games won't be on the art, which sucks because the Gottlieb art I love so much, because while it's not box art from the machines itself, what they did was they took pieces from the actual physical machine's back glasses and used that to build the art on the side, so it was more like a real arcade machine. There was at least some pinball history put into the art. It's all images from maybe back glasses, but these are all made-up back glasses from made-up video gamey pinball games. So, yeah. All right, tuning out now, but also Buy Stuff Backbox. See, we were screwed and had to do more stuff to get our products to be where we wanted. Interesting. All right, see you later, Mystery Encounter. Arcade1Up has 40 plus Zen and Pinball Arcade. Does Arcade1Up actually have Pinball Arcade? I don't know if they do. Yeah, so Arcade1Up can do amazing things. It's just, we'll get to it. We'll get to it at 360. Thank you very much for the super chat. Mystery Encoder says, tired of all these companies and their garbage. All right, Mystery Encoder. Papa Brad's Gaming, light up marquee needs to go. I completely agree with that. There's no room to have that. The reason why I brought up the Buy Stuff Backbox a little bit earlier is if you are going to release a new pinball machine from AtGames, honestly, man, that I don't mean to step on Buy Stuff's toes or take business away from them, but AtGames should be looking at that and saying, yeah, that's the back box that we need on our new machine. Funny thought, the new Legends Pinball backbox will have a 24-inch monitor in it, same size as the Arcade1Up playfield. See, there you go. Arcade1Up isn't about selling games and software. They only want to sell hardware, but it's going to be hard to sell hardware if your games and stuff on it are kind of poop. Hey, Tampa Tech, what's happening, brother? Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Anyways, guys, so going on here, add a third backglass DMD. That is with the BitPixel HV. Now, P-Dubs, you said there was a larger back screen. Yeah, larger backglass, 23.8. Wow, look at that. Larger speakers, 3 to 5 inches. That was one area where a lot of people were said Arcade1Up had the edge on the last pinball experience. Arcade1Up had better speakers. The sound on those Arcade1Up pinballs was fantastic. I can't disagree with that. And here's the thing that I get really excited about. This is the stuff that gives me a little bit of a tickle. It's going to have a boxy cabinet. So that's one of the drawbacks about the original AtGames Pinball. It didn't really have that true pinball look to the cabinet itself. So 360 says you need to watch B's video. You're missing out. Thank you very much for the super chat. I've watched all B's videos. So anyways, guys, the boxier design, more of a traditional pinball design. This was something I amped about. The shopping cart design had to go. Very excited to hear that they've listened to that critical feedback and are going to be making that change. So while I don't love the art as much as the art that they had previously, and I wish they'd reconsider something with the art, I do like the fact that at least the design itself will be more boxy, especially because then you can go work with somebody like Joe Zabo, Buy Stuff Store, one of these companies out there making great bring your own art to these pinball machines and have something that's more representative of a real pinball machine. If you don't like the art, at least the build is where you want it to be. Then on top of that, guys, we've got solenoids. The exciters are gone for haptic feedback, releasing the haptic speakers. The fart noises are gone. We'll get real solenoid experience. And unlike Arcade1Up, you know AtGames aren't going to get cheap solenoids. These will feel really, really, really good. Software platform is Legends CE 4K. So I showed you guys that in my video a little while ago. So the way that works, it looks right now a lot like Pinup Popper. So if you use that for your visual pinball experience, you'll be very familiar with their new Legends CE user interface, whatever you want to call it. It has longer legs as well. My poor back was killing me until I did my Stern Sega legs on my AtGames Legends Pinball. So the longer legs are going to help out a ton as well. 50 tables included, so expect to see a mix of tables very similar to what came on the Legends Pinball Micro. And here's the real down point about it. MSRP TBD. Let's be honest here. If you take a look at how much the AtGames Legends Pinball is now, plus all these improvements, guys, we're probably looking at about, for a 4K pinball table with these things, somewhere between $1,000 and $1,200 US. So that's going to be the interesting thing, is how much they can move this out to market at and how much you're willing to pay, because they obviously think that the next step in their pinball landscape is to go with quality. They want to go with a more quality machine, and with quality comes with price, especially since we know since the pandemic, prices have gone up. So that's the direction AtGames are going in. They are going more premium on their pinball experience going forward. Then we have the other side of the equation. So let me bring this up. You guys may remember this past week, David McIntosh and Travis MCP did their introductory episode of Arcade 1 Update, and when the question came up, Travis brought up his buddy Moat's video he did recently about where is Arcade1Up Pinball, and they talked about the fact that their pinball offering ended up getting much more expensive than their initial target. So the conversation then went from that point to something that made me a little bit concerned, because again, I do like Arcade1Up Pinball, and I've covered this a bunch, and I've said, I hope Arcade1Up Pinball 2.0 or the next revision of Arcade1Up Pinball brings all the things that were lacking to the table and makes the overall experience better. But unfortunately, if you followed this video, that's not what David McIntosh talked about. He talked about the important thing was getting the price point back down to something that's much more digestible to the mass consumer, which gives me a lot of pause. Pitbull says that episode sucked dog balls. Pitbull did not like that episode. Anyways, guys, let me pause this and I will go back to the full screen here. So if you watched the video I did of my reaction video, my recap, that's not good news, because the way that they're going to get their pinball back down to a more digestible mass level was they were going to have to make concessions with their pinballs. So what David McIntosh talked about possibly doing was taking away some features such as the DMD, taking away some features such as the solenoids. So realistically, what Arcade1Up, in my opinion, needed to do to make things go forward was to improve their experience, get it up to 1080p, make sure your solenoids are working correctly, get the right DMD in place. And instead, they're talking about cutting and making a cheaper version. Essentially, what Arcade1Up is trying to do is to re-release their pinball table as the well-played pinball table with no DMD, no backglass, just the bare bones. And it's funny because he talked about this later on when they were talking about the Pro model, and they said, hey guys, that's not our expertise point. We're not used to making high-end products, but in turn, what we are used to making is a cheap, enjoyable, good family product. So it sucks because Arcade1Up has the Zen licenses. Sure, you can play them through Bring Your Own Game, but I mean, the Zen license and Arcade1Up's buying power allow them to go out and lock down so many titles that you would love to see AtGames have an opportunity to get to. And Arcade1Up do have the knowledge, know-how to make a pretty and well-built machine, but it's just not going to be good. I mean, I would never go out at even $500 US and buy another Arcade1Up pinball as is. Maybe if they came out with something really cool that was a really good recreation of classic pinball table, like they did I wouldn't buy a Funhouse, but say they got new titles. They do an Indiana Jones, the Pinball Adventure recreation with some of the newer Williams games on it. That's something I would consider. But I'm certainly not going to pay $500 US for an Indiana Jones Pinball Adventure that doesn't have a third screen, a second screen DMD, that doesn't have solenoids, that doesn't have Wi-Fi, that doesn't have leaderboards, and doesn't have that experience. So it was so disappointing to hear that the only way they thought they could continue with pinball was to make it cheaper, and the only way to make it cheaper was to take away from some of the good things that actually made the experience a little bit special where it was lacking in the software performance area. So it was a very interesting decision. And that's the funny thing about this. I mean, we last time when this initially came out, there was a war to see which company was going to give the best pinball experience. And there were fans on either side. And like I said, debatably, AtGames delivered the better product overall, realistically. But going into this next wave of pinball, and you hear what Arcade1Up is saying, and you're like, I'm not interested. I'm not interested at all. And it's very, very disappointing to hear that. I mean, I'm not the only one. I mean, there's millions of videos out there talking about the downfalls of Arcade1Up Pinball. So to hear they think that they have the best machine in class, and they're thinking about making concessions, is seriously disappointing, because that is a piece where you hear that that is the piece where you hear that they're not listening to the fan feedback. They're not listening to the core audience, because, again, these are machines that honestly needed more and needed to be better, and hearing that they're going to be shittier is certainly not a direction, not a pull in the right direction. I don't know what to say. I know P-Dubs, he's bringing this up here, and let me bring it up here as well. Let me go. I'm curious if Arcade1Up will make smaller, cheaper tabletop pinball, no second screen, just 10 games included, cute artwork. I think some people will buy it for the titles and look with it being cheap. So P-Dubs is talking about what AtGames did with the Legends Pinball Micro, and also what, even though I don't think it ever came out in the States, what Toy Shock did with their tabletop pinball, and maybe that's an option. We also saw something UAG shared last year about this XL stand-up pinball from Arcade1Up as well that had a one screen, and maybe that was a look into the future as well. But I don't know. I just, even if they did that with the smaller thing, P-Dubs, I still think it would be at a price point where people would be like, nah, brah. So if they did a tabletop pinball, I mean, it's still probably going to be $400. I don't think they'll be able to sell it for $300, not with the licenses they have. So $360, $5 super chat, $4.99. Bruh, but you it just jumped off my screen, so let me bring it back up. Bruh, but you haven't even tried Arcade1Up Pin after Pinner Mod. It's the best value. 1080p, Zen, and Pinball Arcade. You viewers know the truth. We're not even having that conversation. I agree with you for value. If you're willing to soft mod your cabinet, 100%. B-Kong's got a video out there. Go check it out. If you're willing to soft mod your machine, this is definitely a great option for you to do. You can get these things. So, again, stock without doing a mod. I still think the AtGames Pinball outperformed the Arcade1Up Pinball, but 360 does want you to go check out this pinball mod that you can do soft mod to add the 40 Zen titles and Pinball Arcade, so you can decide for yourself. So again, like I said, I do think the machine feels better on the Arcade1Up. Sure, it has a smaller screen, but it's the right height. I do like the solenoids, and I do like the feel of the machine and the boxy build, so that would be a very good option as well. Given enough time, everyone can afford everything. Do the math. Yes, that is true, 100%. Console Kit said something earlier. Is this a video where you say you would never ever buy, but then you do? No, you're talking to a very, very different Michael B. And you would be crazy to think that I would buy this at full price. Like, I will give you an example. Pac-Mania Cab, I bought that. The only reason I bought the Pac-Mania Cab, the only reason I would even consider it, is because they were selling so poorly here in Canada that over Christmas time, they took almost $400 off the price of the machine and were essentially giving it away. And for that, sure, it piqued my curiosity to see whether or not it was good or not. I can make a video on it. And then at $300, I can sell it and not lose any money. So, yeah. And if Arcade1Up make this shitty pinball that they're talking about with concessions, like taking out the DMD, taking out the solenoids, and having it just be like a one-screen device, it'd be the same thing. I would only buy it if it went on absolute clearance for curiosity. I am not interested in buying that. I have the AtGames Legends Pinball where I can do everything I need. I have my Attack from Mars downstairs, and if I want to get funky with it, I can do the Pinner mod that 360 is talking about. So, I'm good. Unless it has Wi-Fi, unless it does something to interest me, there's no way I would get it. Ever. Todd Moore, don't throw that in my face. You know I can't buy shit here. If I ever showed you like how much everything costs here, your head would spin because there's barely anything that ever happened. Champagne Room, I did the cool toy mod on my Arcade1Up Pinball. Still going to blow away the new 4K ALP. You know what's funny about that? My friend here, Charlie Chuck. Oh yeah, I've got a dedicated PC hooked up to my AtGames Legends Pinball. I've got everything on it. I got Visual Pinball. I've got Pinball FX. And yeah, that I'm doing good with my Legends Pinball. And that's why I like it so much, is I did go for that option. Anyways, thank you, Mystery and Cutter. So my buddy Charlie Chuck actually did the cool toy mod, but did a little bit different, and he put a 32-inch screen in there. He's got a PC hooked up to his original Attack from Mars Arcade1Up Pinball. He reskinned it with Back to the Future art, and the thing is incredible. He loves it. He swears by it. That's an option as well. That's modding. That's not stock. It's not, here's the here's the caveat with that. The machine is designed with a feature called BYOG. So I haven't physically modded the cabinet. Well, I did eventually. I did mod the cabinet. I put the buy stuff back box in there. But playing OTG is just a matter of pressing a button on the cabinet that brings you to your PC. Mike B is a modder confirmed. Yeah, I gotta look at the buy stuff haptic as well, so, yeah. Anyways, guys, I'm long-winded about this, so I'll finish it up there, but what I did want to say was, right now, the battle was very close between Arcade1Up Pinball and AtGames Pinball. Obviously, with the edge to AtGames on the stock, even though they had the worst games that were included, the worst software compared to Arcade1Up with the Zen Pinball, the performance at 1080p 60 frames per second, plus your extra features where it was Wi-Fi connected, you can automatically do leaderboards plus add additional games, and also the options to do BYOG if you so inclined, kind of pushed it over the edge. And now we're moving into the future, and it's just so disappointing to hear that the two companies are going in such drastically different directions, with AtGames going, in my opinion, the right direction and making their machine more premium and adding more features and options, even though it is going to have a little bit more of a premium price, while Arcade1Up wants to deal to the mass consumer more so, and are looking to actually cheapen the machine, make it more cost effective, but also make it less appealing to people who want to play visual pinball. So it's very disappointing, and I'd like to get your feedback. Do you feel the same way as me? Would you be interested in paying $500 for an Arcade1Up Pinball that possibly doesn't have a DMD or possibly doesn't have solenoids? Does that matter to you, or are you just happy to play whatever you want? Why didn't you ask Glenn about light guns while he was on? Oh, Tyler V, thank you very much for the $1.99 super chat. I got a feeling you're going to be really happy soon, Tyler. I got a hunch. I got a wild hunch that you're going to be very, very happy soon. I didn't ask Glenn about the light guns because Glenn is under an NDA not to talk about the light guns, man. I don't know if he is under an NDA or not. Not 100% sure. That's a good question, but I think you're going to be very happy soon, Tyler V. Thank you very much for the super chat. Todd Moore says they focus on different markets. Yeah, it's one of the things that shows here, but at the same time, even if you are focusing on different markets, I mean, literally, every single person in your community, if you go watch every review video, if you go watch every feedback video, it's all the same things missing. Wi-Fi. The DMD in the back is shitty. It needs to fill up the whole screen or be the correct aspect ratio. And then number 3, 720p pinball is unacceptable. And even after the update, it still doesn't play as good as it really should. So, I mean, hearing all these things and hearing the performance, the 720p, the screen size is all fine. There's going to be no real changes. They're just going to take stuff away. It's a little disappointing. So, there we go. Anyways, guys, that's all I really wanted to say tonight. I wish it was a little bit different, because I was really hoping Arcade1Up Pinball's next offering would be a more advanced offering with Wi-Fi, with 1080p gameplay, maybe with a little bit of a bigger screen, correct DMD, and especially with the Wi-Fi, so you could at least play those games with leaderboard support and maybe even participate in some tournaments, even if it was only Arcade1Up specific and playing against other people in those sectors. But it doesn't look like they're going to be going in that direction. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight, talking about Arcade1Up and AtGames Pinball, and I hope we all get together at the Cleveland Gaming Classic in the very near future, have a burger and a beer together, and play some goddamn arcades. Anyways, guys, thank you very much for watching tonight. This is Michael B. the Game Genie. I'll talk to you guys next time.